Hello now? Looks like maybe we have sound now. Going into OBS at least. All right. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate the heads up. Introduction for anybody who might be new. My name is Tim, and I go by Foamy Guy on GitHub and Discord. This is the CircuitPython deep dive program. This program, we are kind of taking a look at some, more in-depth stuff in CircuitPython. We're getting our hands dirty with a fair amount of code, either working with library code, projects, or sometimes inside the core, trying to tackle some of the more complex things. So it's not necessarily like beginner-focused stuff, but we are just working on different parts of CircuitPython as things come up. If you are brand new, though, and you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never heard any of this stuff before, you can learn a bit more about it at circuitpython.org. This is the main website for the project. Basically, this is an implementation of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers. There's a bunch of pictures of them on this page here. So each of these little boards is kind of like a tiny computer inside of there, and we can save our Python code on it as a text file, and then it will execute the Python code for us. All these different microcontrollers come in like different shapes and sizes. This one's round with alligator clips. This is the Raspberry Pi Pico, which has lots of breadboard headers on it. This one's got cherry keys and a screen and a knob. This is one of the feather form factor ones with battery charging capabilities. So there's lots of these different form factors and shapes and sizes of these things, but the thing that brings them all together is the fact that they all support CircuitPython. All 333 boards on this page can run CircuitPython. So that is what, generally speaking, what the show is about. How's it going in chat over there, Noodle and Axel Magnus and Paul Carter? Paul Cutler and Deshipu. And let me uncover the YouTube one here. Beata, how's it going? Thank you for the heads up on sound, and also hello to S. Campana over on YouTube as well. So getting in, let me finish off, I guess, with the higher level introduction stuff. So CircuitPython, like I was talking about, this project is an open source project, so anybody is allowed to contribute to the project. It's all the development happens out in the open on GitHub. We'll be diving into GitHub Actions specifically here in a little bit. If you would like to get involved, a couple of things you can do is, of course, head to circuitpython.org. There's a contributing link up here, which is a good place to start. You can find our projects on GitHub, and I would also encourage you, if you're interested in getting involved, to join the Discord, which is linked down below on the screen there, adafru.it, which is also the Discord in the live broadcast chat room that's right below me here, the chat that's on the screen. So head over there, and there's lots of folks who are more than happy to help you get involved in whatever kind of capacity that you're interested in, whether that's like coding or just making projects or just translating, just having ideas and asking questions. All of those are perfectly valid ways to contribute to this community. So head over there if any of that stuff interests you. It is an open source project, but it is primarily funded by this company here, Adafruit. This is their website, adafruit.com. They sell hardware and software. They are a company based out of New York in the United States, and they are paying the folks who work on CircuitPython full-time. There's a few folks who work on the project full-time that are paid by Adafruit. There's a couple other folks like myself who are paid part-time to work on CircuitPython. So definitely big thanks to Adafruit. And if you want to help support the project, one of the ways you can do that is by purchasing hardware from them. So head over to adafruit.com and buy yourself some goodies and toys, things that you can run CircuitPython on or plug into things that run CircuitPython. Jumping in more specifically, what we want to look at today is this. Which is on the CircuitPython bundle. So this is the bundle that contains all of the official Adafruit CircuitPython libraries. This is like one repo where all the libraries are added as what are these called? Submodules, I think. Git submodules. I'm not sure if that's the right name. But basically, this repo contains like pointers to all the other library repos. And it also contains some actions tasks. GitHub Actions is like a thing where you can create these files inside your project, and then whenever certain conditions, whenever certain actions happen on the repo, it can respond by running these tasks that are defined inside these files. This one in particular is called images.yaml, and again, this is on the CircuitPython bundle library. And this action's purpose is to create library screenshot images. I should have pulled up the link for him here. Let me find a link real fast. This screen, because it'll make a lot more sense what these are if we can look at one. We can look at one, as long as I get the link. That didn't quite get me. Good. All right, well, I guess we'll just. Yesterday afternoon, a guy was asking me about this. Link in the CircuitPython dev channel over on the Discord, which is what I'm feverishly scrolling through right now. Okay, I'll have to read through some of this because Jeff mentioned some stuff about it as well. I mean, this is all public anyway. We could do this here. In dev, yes, yeah. Yesterday there was some discussion about this. So, this is the link we want. So it creates these screenshots, these mock-up screenshots, because they're not actual screenshots, but they're made to appear like they are. But it makes these screenshot images that show basically the structure of what your CircuitPy drive would look like if you were going to run this particular example. This one is it's an example from the Adafruit IO library. It's called Adafruit IO HTTP Adafruit IO randomizer.py. And if you were to run this on your CircuitPython drive, at a minimum, you would pretty much have these files here. Some of these are just the standard stuff that exists on every CircuitPy drive. Of course, CodePy is where we put the code that's actually going to run. And then the neat thing about this is that it dynamically generates this list of libraries right here. So it looks at the example that you asked for. It figures out which libraries are required by that example, and then those are the ones that are included in this lib folder here. And of course, it also keeps track of which libraries are folders and which libraries are MPY files so that it can draw the icons correctly. So we're not dealing with CircuitPython code itself. The code that actually generates this is just standard CPython code that runs on a PC, not CircuitPython devices. Yeah, definitely. Guides was the first thing this was made for. And then it turned out to be general enough it was able to be repurposed for the examples inside the library repos. So this also exists for the Learn guides. There's a similar kind of thing which will spit out these same screenshots, but for projects that are in the Learn guide system, rather than examples that are in the bundle. So our problem is that new ones are not getting added to here. They're supposed to just get added to this thing automatically, and they aren't. And yeah, so this is the task that does it. We'll probably dig a little further in there in a little bit, but I think kind of the first place that we start digging here, or diving, I guess as it were, is here, which is saying this kind of ambiguous because it's like green check seems like it was successful. You go inside of here. Kind of seems like all this stuff was successful. Commit updates. So some of these are being added. Well, a lot of these are being added. So what was the one? What's the one we're looking for? HT. Oh, right. It's the. I think it's like 14.7 or something like that. E16K. So this example was added to this repo recently. 3 days ago, I think. This is the one. Yeah. But it didn't show up in this list. Oh, it is in this list. It's not the new one? Is it a new library example? Dynamic screenshot isn't showing up. I wonder if Katney's around. Let's read a little bit further down because it looked like Jeff had mentioned some stuff as well. I don't know what's up for folder images. I see the web UI says that the task was canceled, but it's also the case that the latest commit of updated images is very recent and matches the log for the last run. I wasn't in on this whole discussion. What else are you seeing that led you to be looking at this? D16 sample is not running. Has the library been released? It was released September. Ah. Bundle is all about having latest releases. Have that either. Check again tomorrow. Okay, looks like Jeff submitted a. We may be further along in this than we thought. We may not have quite as much digging to do. About something else. Okay, that looks like the end of it. It looks like Jeff submitted a ticket about the workflows showing canceled. But that is in some place where it's not public. HT16. See, this search thing doesn't work very good. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it is working, but it's just also showing that error. See, this is weird though. Annotation 1 error. What is annotations? And then you click into it and it looks green. And says succeeded. Folder images. What is generate folder? Folder images versus update images? Two different things? Have a name or something? Folder images, okay. Progress true. Perhaps it was canceled because someone manually. No, it's been getting canceled for. Well, this is part of what I'm unclear about is if it is getting canceled, I guess, because it shows a bunch of different things, but if it is getting canceled, it's been getting canceled every day for a long time. And some days it's not being because somebody manually reran it, because there's definitely days where it's not being manually rerun. See, there's so many different statuses. Like we have green check, but status canceled. Triggered via schedule. So Adabot updated the library inside the bundle, which is what triggered this to run on schedule. Some parts of it think that it succeeded, but then some parts of it think that it canceled. And then if you do like this, yes, they're canceled like every day, once a day, for a while. I don't even know. I clicked through a few pages of these yesterday. Months ago. One's different. Failed instead of canceled. August. Does failed count as canceled? Not like trying to still run this or anything. And we failed before that too, though, I guess. Or canceled. We canceled before that. Or did these never get green checks here? Perhaps it's canceled. The error sounds like something else. Yeah, I agree. It sounds like there's one. It sounds like there's another one that's like stuck or something that's like trying to run but can't, but it's never gonna finish, and that is blocking the other ones. That's kind of my instinct. Maybe somehow it's being run twice and the second request cancels the first. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, we could check into that. Well, and it does on schedule only. So there are greens. We found greens, page 13. 10 months ago we had one fail, one success, and then we started this. Permitted update. So it is weird though that this is just a commit. Triggered via schedule. Why is there a commit associated with it if it was triggered via schedule? GitLab has the option to cancel pipelines if the newer one has generated something like that, but wouldn't show a historical list of actions. It could mean the entire action was canceled because the job or something was failed. Yeah, I mean, this is the weirdest part, is like it's showing canceled for annotations, whatever this means, and it's showing canceled here, but it, like, all this is green, right? If you go inside here, it's, well, we probably can't read these ones anymore. If we look in the newest ones, though, these all have success stuff inside of them. So it's like it runs the whole thing, but then for some reason it thinks that it got canceled. So it may not be broken in the sense that it's not generating new images. It may be only broken in the sense that GitHub Actions is unsure about, I would say unsure about whether it succeeded or not, honestly, because everything inside of here seems like success. And you click on that one which was just read, update images. This is the same link. Job failed, success. Yep. Task failed successfully. Task succeeded failurely? Task, yeah. Clear. Okay, what are annotations? I don't even know. Annotations. No. Annotate your actions. Action annotates from a JSON file. Not what we want, is it? Okay, catastrophic success. I like that one. What are annotations? In the email reports when my workflow fails, I see mentions of annotations like annotations. What are annotations? Email is confusing about status checks. That would be helpful. See the comments on the lines of code? Annotation. An API that allows annotations to be created during a CI run. Comments on the lines of code? Aren't supported by Actions yet, but will be. And this is 2019, so they probably are by now, I guess. People asking how to do it. Text and annotation. Bug sites. Annotation with reference to source code line. Do we have anything in here that says annotation? No. Yes. Yes, it is. Is successful or canceled. It's in fact somehow successful and canceled. Doing a check with annotation. Like, so annotations, this is the same box. Awesome. This is check files action. This is not. Okay, so this is a JavaScript project. Yeah, so this person's writing JavaScript code that's going to be part of their action. Seems like their action is going to execute this JavaScript code for them, and it's npm or whatever, so it's running not on a web page, but on a like at the terminal essentially. So do we have set up Python, check out there is as far as like actions thing. Which I think these are like the JavaScript. No, I don't actually know how these work. TypeScript, okay. Okay. So one of the ones of these that we are using could be creating those annotations, what like that guy seemed to be doing from his JavaScript code. Is the YAML script trying to create an annotation? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm still only vaguely, well, let's just say I'm still a little hazy on what an annotation is. Um, so to the best of my knowledge, it's not, but if Google has anything. Concurrency check. Okay, we do have concurrency check. Saw something like that. This, right? Cancel in progress. Maybe it is running twice. Whoever guessed running twice, you might be right. using github.job and job name contains and. Okay. Intrigued. Group was set to github.job. Are we using job? Our group is just hard-coded. I have no job. Ref. There's like literally one word left. Could anything else be using that job name? I mean, or group name? Only this file here. But are groups, do groups go outside of repos? Because I have another theory. Like I was saying before, the Learn Guide. Where's that? Okay, does anybody know anything about GitHub Action groups? If groups can encompass stuff from more than one repo, then I think this is our issue, maybe. It is weird that it succeeds still, though, which, what's the word? Somehow gets stuck at the very end after completing, and then gets canceled when the schedule starts the next one. The annotation is created by whatever cancels it. Oh, okay. Running twice. Guessing that an annotation could be an image from a script. Both jobs appear to be more or less the same output. Which page are you on? So it did, one of the most recent ones did get manually triggered to run a second time. But here, at least, it doesn't seem like it's running twice, because it shows 12 hours ago, and then the one before that is 2 days ago. At least in this list, they only show up once. Let me open this image. Oh. Latest attempt 2, attempt 1. Kattni. Yeah, I think this one was manual. I think that one shows 2 because yesterday Kattni tried to do rerun jobs. How did you see that? Think you found the culprit? Possibly. I don't know if they do run at the same time though. I guess we could look at the other one. Oh. Well, okay. Yeah, now I think you're probably right that I'm probably right because these ones are showing canceled also. What? Are these in here still? Oh. These ones get triggered by commits sometimes. Whereas our ones in the bundle don't. And then this one shows canceled but doesn't have the annotation. And does look successful here. How can we test it? Can we rename the group and try it? Yeah, I think so. Clicked on job 483 for the screenshot. Oh, okay, these things, I see. But it's weird too, like, why? Because the automated one would have been done, presumably, by the time that the manual one was attempted yesterday. We only get that thing if there's 2, I guess. Higher priority waiting request. How do we test it? How do we make it run in my branch? This one is different in that it has the cron, which is the same, but it also has this part and workflow dispatch and push. Are the crons at the same time? They are at the same time. This one does also have dispatch. I mean, I guess we could just pick a time that's in a few minutes away from now or something? Does it work like that? Or can I do it just off this, but is it not going to fail because the other one's not running? Well, what does this mean anyway? I don't read cron things. I always use this thing. Cron I don't know what it's called, cron converter. We want this at 10 a.m. every day. PC, I guess, probably. Priority involved, so one gets ditched, but it seems like both get ditched every time. Higher priority one has a problem, then everything fails. Well, it seems like both think they get canceled. Like both technically kind of succeed, but also think they get canceled. Weirdly, these ones don't have the annotations. This is in the Learn Guide side instead of the bundle. These ones show cancel also, but they don't have the annotation. So it's inside here, I guess. Oh. This one has like no indication failure except for this status here. Okay. Let's see if these ones started showing canceled at the same time. Because we made it back through this, what? I don't remember which, it was 10 months ago? What page was it on, though? December 17th. It's the first one that shows canceled. And these ones, well, I guess, can we do on here? On? On will be ignored. Log searching is not yet. Event? Schedule. Enter, not select. No, this one succeeded as of even a few days ago. Did fail a lot. Cancel a lot. See if it starts at 10 months. It does. December 17th. Fateful day. Run 14. Doesn't need to be running, it just needs to be scheduled and waiting to run. Yeah. I think it probably would have attracted attention sooner if it wasn't doing this weird kind of failed but kind of also created all the images. Because really what we want it to do is create all the images. Like, if it does that, then it's successful in my opinion, but so I mean it has to be this, right? Because the first time this happened is on the 17th, and that's the exact same day that this started happening reliably. The 16th, the day before. Well, but this one was succeeding before that too, though. It can't just be that simple, right? Not like all of these ones that succeeded took less time or anything either, because still like 4 or 5 minutes. That one's almost 10 minutes. It's got to be related to that though, right? Oh my god, man. Oh yeah, it doesn't have main. Mine too old? Hmm. Um. Hmm. What do we do about that? Okay. Here's what we do. Go to the main. New branch. Okay. Already on main. Check out. Update. Second. Oh, that's working. Can we do minutes here? Minutes. So we could do 12, and then it's like at 10:12. Okay. So we also need to know UTC time. And AM. God, I have no idea. I don't know which one is daylight savings time and which one is not. Went back to 5 a.m. So it runs at 5 a.m. my time, which is about 12 hours ago, so that makes sense. So if we wanted it to run, let's say, like hypothetically at 5 p.m. my time, that would be, well, I mean, it would be 12 hours later than this, right? 22 and 0. 22 is 10 p.m. 5 p.m. my time. Okay. Fine. I haven't updated in a very long time. I wonder if cloning fresh one would be faster. Can you go back to the 16th and see the commits for both image files? No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, the image files seem to be working fine though. Like, I don't think we'll see a difference in the images. Well, I think we can't see the logs anymore. I don't think we get any chance to really see those. I mean, this says triggered via schedule and it links to a commit, but the commit is from Adabot updating the bundle. I don't even really know why it links to this commit. It didn't run, as far as I understand it, it didn't run because of this commit. It ran because of schedule, the cron time. I'm not sure, like, that's just the newest commit that existed at the time it ran, maybe? And so we can look at that, but it doesn't show us, it shows us the commit of the bundle, shows us a commit of the bundle. My theory being it was, I guess, the newest commit at the time when that actions ran. It does seem to line up, but it doesn't show us the images. In order to see the images, I have to go to folder images. One commit? Why would there be only one commit? So you can get to this, which is going to be a very, very, very long list of images that I suspect probably won't actually render correctly. But I think we see the same thing if we go to the ones that fail, because they seem to be generating the images. I meant the yams changes. Oh, doesn't seem like they changed it that date. Well, let's see. How could we tell that? Print GitHub context in a different way, but that was 4 months ago. What was that though? Script. One's in build. One's in images. Text. Not sure what that does. But that was only 4 months ago. We can go here though. December 15th. Changed from Python 3.7 to 3.10. Changed from v1 to v2. Setup Python. So that's curious timing, certainly. Did that change at the same time over in the Learn Guide repo? I don't know if this is actually going to update. I'm going to clone again while this is going so that if we can like manage to beat it. Okay. There used to be like a refresh files or something. Okay. Delete this because I did it wrong. Make a new one. I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah, I don't think this matters that much, but I really want it to show me like reality instead of not reality. I don't know why it's way up here. I'm gonna just be alright with that one for now, I think. So we want to push this foamy guy main. Well, to foamy guy update foamy guy main. Really, we want to push it to foamy guy main. Then want to make main default. I'm gonna move this over here so I don't know what all these pages are out of my head. Default branch. Default branch. Default branch. Another branch. Main. Ended consequence. Okay. Her action. There's something that limits which branch the scheduled ones run on. Like something in here that's like make it only Adafruit or. I don't know. I don't know if this is a true test though, right? Like if I make my own branch, and I make this thing run, this would mean also the group, well, we're not running at the same time as the library one, the Learn Guide one. So we have that difference, but we're also in my forks. Groups could be tied to the GitHub user. I mean, truthfully, could we not just get rid of this? If the, well, I guess the intention is that if you run it from the dispatch, then you want it to cancel the cron one. So it was 22, and then if we did something like 5, now this should say 522. Sure. At 22:05, which was 10:05 UTC, 5:05 my time. Tabs at which tabs. I don't know if this will run though. Wouldn't this, if this does run, then doesn't that mean that every person who clones the bundle, i.e. to make a pull request against it, their GitHub account would be running actions? Wouldn't this be running for everybody that had it at the same time every day? We could just say run workflow here. All right. Who thinks it's going to show up? I'm skeptical, but that'd be pretty cool. Oh, 5 my time, but there's nothing special about my time. Off by a few seconds or a minute or something. I don't know if there's like an official GitHub time API or something. Schedule time, you can schedule it to run in UTC time using cron syntax. Every 5 minutes. Single workflow can be triggered by multiple schedule events. You can access the schedule event that triggered the workflow through event.schedule context. This example triggers the workflow to run at 5:30 every Monday and Thursday, but skips not on Monday or Wednesday. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, this is a link to the page we had. Notifications for scheduled workflows are sent to the user who last modified the cron syntax. Yeah, at this point. Did I get an email or something? Like it actually triggered. I'll see. I don't know why this is like a draggy thing instead of just a scrolling list. This doesn't really say anything about users. I don't know why. So I know some of our actions have stuff inside of the action that will limit it to Adafruit. That just shows green success. Just had a commit 2 minutes ago. That seemed to work, but it was run manually. How do we get it to actually do the cron? So while we look into this, I'm also actually curious. We go here. Go here. We just do this. Does it succeed like mine did? No. I mean, I guess one thing we could certainly try is just change it and PR it, and then if it gets merged to the bundle, then tomorrow at 5 a.m. my time, we'll know if it worked or not. I won't. I'll be asleep, hopefully, but GitHub will know if it worked or not. They have a record of it for us so that we can read it. Schedule checks out the latest commit of the default branch, so maybe that's what those commits were. Our default's main now. Mine is. Adafruit's has been for a while, and I just switched mine. We did push ours. No, this one failed the same way. Priority waiting request. Whoa, going. Did I do the math wrong? Did I put 12 or subject to be off by a few minutes, I guess? But it succeeded from the schedule there too. Okay, I mean, I guess let's try it, right? There's no real... I think group is just an arbitrary name, is it? Concurrency group? Maybe let's check the docs for that. But why would they both succeed before? There were some before that date of the 15th or 16th or whatever it was. this. Doesn't have like actions overall. I think you need probably more higher access account or something. Okay, so I guess the way to test and be slightly more sure is also have my branch of learn guide repo is update them both to the same time, but different group names, and then see if they both succeed. This one is still on master 2. Ooh. This was way faster. I don't even know if that thing ever finished. It did finally finish. Was it though? Because we were done way faster the other way. The old one, so I don't mess up and do the same. Do the wrong one. Git remote rename origin fruit git remote add guy. Guy git guy main dash b main check push guy main. This again. We're here for. I think there was anything bad, but I don't really want to risk it. Main. Okay. So, but wait, it didn't really run until like multiple minutes later. I'm afraid to do it in the past though, right? We have to do it in the future, otherwise it might not actually trigger. Say 23. This. Three. Okay. Both of those are pushed to my main with 5:23, 2 minutes from now. These ones triggered from the commit too. And we had to wait like, I don't know, it was at least 10 minutes. Well, let's see, it says right here, it says 7 minutes ago which was 5:14 my time, which was 12 minutes after the time that it was actually scheduled for. So I guess we wait for a bit. See what happens. Um, this is interesting too, right? Having been, oh, it didn't reopen the same page. That one having been changed on the 15th certainly seems coincidental, right? Maybe this like made it take slightly longer. Maybe it wasn't taking as long before for some reason. Maybe this one made it take slightly longer, which then exacerbated the problem somehow. Which is also why maybe one of them, like one of them that we saw, it was like kind of patchy. The bundle it seemed like was failing pretty consistently every time, but the learn guide was a little bit more patchy, where like it had a couple of failures sprinkled in. See if this one changed at the same date. Mm-mm. Oh, well, January, about a month later, but using 3.x instead of 10, and it is still using v1. Wrong file. I wonder when this was added, or if it was there from the beginning. $17. Okay, that's from the beginning though. This is the commit that added it. So I think Learn Guide was older than Bundle. Not by much though. 16 months instead of 17 months. So they coexisted pretty well for 6-ish, 7-ish months. Our last one. Not triggered a new one yet. One came from a commit. One was generate folder images and it failed. But it's canceled. Oh, because we were trying to run, I guess. Can you tell what merge? Push? Why does on push get triggered twice? Alright, so we're 4 minutes after what it was scheduled for. Took about 12 minutes up last. Hopefully this one will be done. Looks like one was from the commit and one was from the merge. Push. Does a merge makes an extra push though? Does it? I think so. I don't know if this one will be out of the way. Can we cancel this right now? I don't want that one to get in the way. It is actually going to trigger our schedule one again. So this one is definitely running twice. I think we should... I think we should probably only have one of these, right? If we do it on every push, then we don't need the cron job. Oh, I didn't change the name. Did I not change the name? Okay, I did. Thought I forgot to change. Because this one doesn't have the push trigger. And that push trigger seems to be going twice anyway, which is always making one of the two fail. Seven minutes after the scheduled time, so last time it was at 12, so we got about 5 minutes. It's going to be around the same as it was last time. I'm going to take a look at this. No, it makes sense. I think it only uses it. Well, we'll have to look at it. I think it probably only uses board to try to access the built-in display. I think it falls back. Well, let's read the rest of the change, I guess. Yeah. Ooh. Nice. Should play with this one day on stream. It's awesome. Nice. Yeah, probably I'm gonna be looking at this tomorrow. So sneak peek. You heard it here first. This is what we're looking at tomorrow on stream, I think. CircuitPython Turtle Library. Specifically, this person made updates to make it work on the PC. Oh! Oh! Okay, that's success, right? That's success? That feels like success. 2 minutes ago? They both say 2 minutes ago. This one took 2 minutes 22. This one took 1 minute 12. And 2 minutes ago was 32, which was only 11 minutes. We got 1 minute faster. No, 9 minutes. 23 to 32 is 9 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes faster. So I think we just PR1 to change it, and then we can put our findings on the PR. We can link to both of these and show that they both succeeded and that they were scheduled for the same time. So does it matter which one? Not really, right? I think it just has to be different names. So I guess we already, well, we want to put this back though, right? Yeah. Is that 0 before? This. This is another really nice thing about PyCharm. If you've never used this thing before, this is super awesome. You can compare between branches. So right now we're on update Foamy Guy main. Let's say we want to compare that against main. We go here, we go compare with. It shows us commits that exist in main, but not foamy main. There's none here. It shows us commits that exist in foamy main, but not regular main. You go into these things, shows you the exact changes. Other thing you can do actually though is you can just go git local history, current file, show diff, show history, show diff. Somewhere there's a window where you can get some right and left arrows and you can just drag from one to the other. Okay, maybe we do it this way. Right click this, compare with. That's a file. Compare with. Compare with branch. Main. Here is the one I was looking for. This one lets you do these things, so I just go boop, right back to how it used to be. But we want to keep this one. And that changes the live file too. So there's a bunch of different ways to see different stuff. That one was right-click the file you have under Git, and then compare with. And you can either compare with like a different file, or you can compare with a different branch for a different revision. And that will give you that side by side with the arrows. Yeah, heck yeah. I'm all about PyCharm. Let's fix this one back. Really, I'm all about like use whatever tool you like. I just happen to like PyCharm. I'm not like against any other tool though. So does this mean that every person's fork of either of these two repos is always running these scheduled things? Since they ran for me, doesn't that mean like they run for everybody at this time? 159 forks. I exist. I want to see. It just gave me a number a minute ago. You the better way to view your most up to date. Thank you, Insights Network. This is running for everybody. We're generating a lot of images. Okay. We could mention that in the PR as well. We should probably add some limiting. We probably should, in spite of the fact that it would have made this a lot more difficult to troubleshoot, we should probably, oh hey, there's forks here too. But that's this page, which doesn't tell you how new they are. Yeah, network was the right place. We should probably limit it to only Adafruit. I know we do that with some stuff. And then if like somebody needed to test something, they could just turn that off. So we do want to commit these back. Actions are running in their own accounts for forks. Yeah, which I'm not worried about them stepping on the toes of the main one, but it's just like unneeded, right? It's a bunch of extra stuff in terms of billing. Yeah, I have no idea how the billing works. I would assume that we're still. I mean, does CircuitPython do the same? Because like CircuitPython has actions that do a lot more stuff, or I'll say at least take a lot longer. This run actions does. This happened a few months ago. Github Actions being, yeah, this happened last year sometime. Also, we had this. We dealt with this. This happened to our repos. Somebody was opening PRs. Yeah, April last year. That sounds about right. Somebody was opening PRs and like opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing over and over again. I guess I assume it was a bot, right? And it was causing it to trigger the workflow to run over and over. And the workflow was linking up with some shady crypto thing. Yeah. Okay, it's trying to mine. Yeah, we had this happen on our repos. It's there is new. I think probably what it must have been what GitHub did around that time to try to fix it was they added that there's like an extra check now that's like if this user hasn't committed to this repo before, then it doesn't run automatically. An approving user, like somebody with write access, can has to approve the run to make it actually run. Forks can't run access the secrets. Forks runs cannot access the secrets in the upstream repo. Repo actions don't run on forks. They ran on my fork. Maybe I did something to do that, though. I can't rule that out. Some kind of actions ran on my fork. So I have CircuitPython here. Action. Or is, I mean, well, yeah, and these are 2 months ago. Not showing me the ones from the CircuitPython from the Adafruit org. Showing me, I guess these are my branches, maybe? These are my branches. Oh, this one's going to be a lot trickier, probably. I don't know. Do you think this will render? Render. Did I make a PR? For this thing right now specifically, to change the name of the group thing, I haven't made that PR yet. If you mean, did I make a PR for those actions that we saw in that list did probably get spawned from a PR. Yeah, that's true. Because those were definitely my branches. And so they were, yeah, it must have been that it ran at the time. It ran at the time of the PR. I don't think this is going to render. Not seen a full build run on your fork. Okay. Arturo's. Arturo's usually doing stuff. Back on master. Okay, so these ones just run kind of like just your PRs pretty much, or just your commits. But I guess on your commits is fine on your own fork. Just the cron we probably don't need on everybody's fork, if there's a way to limit it that way. Oh, it did finally. Oh, but it's like very difficult. Oh, and then you click through. It's to reload itself again. Okay, this one. But it's only when you do commits. So they do run, but it's just only commits. And since you're not committing and not releasing, it's not doing those full builds. Yeah, so there's not, that's not doing all that stuff for all the other people. Okay. It didn't give me that yellow thing. Going like old school, I don't usually have to do this. I usually just wait for that yellow thing at the top. Your commit runs on commits to your fork, but not the build or the Windows port or the update. Oh, okay. I am still confused about the manual because I triggered that. Well, I'm confused about two manual ones, honestly. I'm confused about the one that I triggered just a few minutes ago. Why did that one fail? This one. Because there shouldn't have been the scheduled ones. I mean, unless the scheduled ones like exist before the time comes, those like technically exist as soon as the old one ends. The new one just like is a phantom that it starts existing, and therefore it's like bumping this one. But that'd be weird if one that's like not gonna happen for 12 hours would bump one that's trying to happen right now, right? That doesn't make any sense. Could just be a bug in GitHub, I guess, though. So this one, and then I'm also confused, essentially for the same reason, about the one, what was that, 483 that Kattni reran. Because this one shows it was scheduled the first time and then attempted a rerun. And like at the time that the rerun was attempted, that was just like yesterday evening / afternoon. That was kind of in this same window where it's like 12 hours before the actual cron one is going to run. So why would these ones have been bumped, I wonder? In concurrency? Concurrency? Yeah, they both have that concurrency group name, which I think what that's giving it the ability to do is cancel. Really, I think the reason we probably have this is mostly the cancel in progress. And then specifically the idea being, I guess, like if the cron job is running and then somebody triggers a manual one, the cron job should cancel. I guess vice versa, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it begs the question, like, what are we saving by canceling if there's one in progress versus the fact that we are currently also running this in every fork, it seems like. Really, we are getting way more runs, but we could fix that too. Like, we can add a limitation to that, I think. course, I don't know if we could say this for certain, right? We didn't try it with the same group name. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the PR in. Maybe it's worth testing with the same group name just to verify that it does fail that way. It could just be like it works under my forks and not Adafruit's, right? It could be a different issue altogether. But you can't quite rule that out. I bet the scheduled job is always in progress. Wins. Weird that it would take precedence over a manual one from 12 hours ahead. That does, I mean, that almost feels like GitHub has bugs in there the way it's handled. Feels like if that is the intended way it's supposed to behave, it's not very intuitive to the user. You link to a GitHub time? I like put a link in not GitHub, Discord, I mean. That'll work. Okay, so I think we do that there, and then maybe on issues here, we say new issue. Should we disable folder generation for other forks? Yeah, thank you. That's from Discord, and then copy message link. How to ignore concurrency for manual. Oh, okay, there's a way to do it differently for manual. Nice. Scheduled workflow. Oh, okay, they're doing the concurrency group. They're like generating the name dynamically. I wonder if that, because we saw some docs earlier that were written like that as well. I wonder if that's how we're supposed to be doing that, more so than just hard-coded. Can we see at least one more? I feel like we saw at least one more with the scheduled workflow. Probably more of a suggestion, best practice recommendation from GitHub rather than how it's supposed to be configured. Okay. Don't get an answer on how to do it, this might help. Github action workflow on. So what's an example? I swear there's an example of somewhere where we do this, right? Like in the actual libraries. Thought there was something that was limited this way. Only use concurrency in 2 repos. Serious? These two? Gotta get going, but it's nice being able to catch a stream while I worked. Have a good one all. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Keith. I'll be wrapping up here in just a few minutes anyway. Huh, yeah, I don't know. I could have swore there was... I could have swore I remembered one of these actions somewhere having like a if owner name is Adafruit or something like that. I don't know. I don't know where it would have been. I mean, I guess would it be in the core? How the core do that? Maybe CircuitPython.org? Oh, and it's ah, yes. This is what I'm thinking. Okay. That was an adventure. So I think it's possible this might fix those weird half cancels. I think it's probably worth making that limitation change to make it so we only run this on our own branch, our own fork, I should say. Those are kind of two separate things, but I think definitely we should do this, and I don't know, I'm maybe like 60% sure this will fix it. I'm not really 100% sure this is going to fix it. It seems like it would because it ran successfully in mine and they both ran at the same time, and feels like that should be a good test to see if it's going to work, but I can't shake the feeling that like the Adafruit org has got a bunch of other stuff going on inside of Actions at the same time. Maybe mine just wouldn't, like I never tried pushing it without that name. Maybe mine would have succeeded. Even if I hadn't changed the name. We don't know because we didn't try that bit, but we shall see. If this gets merged, then we can check it the next day, whatever day that happens to be. All right, I think that's it for now, folks. So thank you for hanging out. Thanks, Ask Patrick and Noodles, Keith, everybody who is in the chat, helping out and offering up ideas. DJ Devin, thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Shipu, who I think had, was it? I don't remember. C. Grover, thanks for hanging out. I don't remember who it was that mentioned. Might have been to Shipu, yeah. I think so. Got us down the right path, so thanks for that for sure. Got the same team over on YouTube. Okay. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. my time, not 10 a.m. UTC, but 10 a.m. my time, which is Central US, if you want to do the conversion to whatever time zone you're in. I will probably look at this turtle library that I pulled up a little bit ago. I think we'll play with that a bit tomorrow. So if you're interested in display.io or CPython PC graphics that are intermixed with CircuitPython, then tune in tomorrow. And if you don't already follow me on Twitch, you can do that over on FoamyGuy_Twitch if you want a notification when that goes live. Or if you don't want to do that, that's cool as well. I will usually drop links in the Discord when I'm getting ready to start in the morning. So if you just watch that live broadcast chat, then I'll put links in there when I'm about to get going. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope everyone has a good night and a fun weekend and all of that. If we have, I mean, I assume we probably don't have any viewers too close to the storm area in Florida. I would guess those people may not be able to watch us right now for the most part, but if we have anybody who's having issues related to the giant storms in Florida, I hope stuff is getting better for you and clearing up, and hope not too much of your stuff is getting damaged and all that. So, but I think that's it for me tonight. So I will see you all next time. That'll be tomorrow morning for me.